If you're looking to make a change, to get improved performance, improve your sleep, and help you with your weight loss journey, try Optimum Day and Night. Make a change as soon as you can.
And these have been a real game changer in my health journey. Optimum Day helps your metabolism burn throughout the day, and Optimum Night helps you get a really good sleep throughout the night.
And here's some real life proof on screen right now. Both Robbie and Michael Owen teamed up with Oxford Natural for their wellness journey, and you can see the results for yourself.
So if you want to start your health journey today, click the link in the description below. Get 70% off your first order with the code WATTV. People, we are Tottenham TV, back here with yet another Tottenham update for you guys. Let's get straight into it. And the big news of the day is James Maddison, SZY, has confirmed that James Maddison will receive the captaincy ahead of the 26-27 campaign. A formal announcement is expected over the coming weeks following Cuti Romero's departure, whenever that may be. We know that he's obviously in talks with Inter Milan. There's Barcelona interest as well. But in terms of the captaincy for James Maddison, I think it's only fitting. I think he's the best person for the role, basically. I mean, there are other candidates there. You've got Pedro Porro, people have spoken about. Even, people have spoken about Andy Robertson, Mickey van der Ven. But I think when you see James Maddison in and around the group, when you see his leadership ability, even when he was out injured, how he gets the group together, how he motivates the team, and just how important he is to the team as well, I think James Maddison is the right candidate to be Tottenham captain. So when that is announced, we'll obviously bring to you all the media duties that they bring along with it. But a massive congratulations to James Maddison for being Roberto De Zerbi's choice to be the captain of Tottenham Hotspur. It is a massive, massive role and a big kind of responsibility on his shoulders now to go and take this team into the new era under Roberto De Zerbi. But I couldn't think of a better person to be named captain right now in the squad than James Maddison. But let us know your thoughts. Do you think it's the right move to name James Maddison as captain, or do you think maybe Mickey should have taken it? Andy Robertson obviously comes with a wealth of experience. I mean, a lot of people are saying Pedro Porro, but I'm just not too sure on Pedro Porro as captain. I just think James Maddison is the right man for the job. He really is. He's shown that leadership ability in abundance, in my opinion. In more good news, this time for Mohammed Kudus, Himothy and SZY both confirming that Mohammed Kudus will be fit for Tottenham's opener against Brentford in the Premier League in the last week of August. Everyone's worrying, he wasn't picked for the tour. He stayed back to continue his rehabilitation, but he will be there. And I cannot wait to see what Mohammed Kudus has in store for us this season. I mean, I've looked at him in kind of the gym work that he's doing, and he looks hench, man. And he was already hench, but he looks built up more than ever before. He's had a lot of time to work on his kind of physique and time in the gym while he's been injured. And you can see he's definitely been working hard on that because he's built like a brick shithouse at the moment, I swear to God. But De Zerbi will have a clear plan for Mohammed Kudus. He had it already before he kind of reoccurred that injury and thought he was going to make a big impact at the back end of last season. But now with the pre-season behind him, now putting those injury problems behind him, this is going to be a big year for Mohammed Kudus, and with some actual proper tactics behind him as well. Because last year, all we did basically was get the ball to Mohammed Kudus and be like, you know what, take on the whole team and put in a cross and get us a goal or finish it and get us a goal. Now, we're actually going to have some real tactics where we can not just have Mohammed Kudus as our only avenue of attack, but obviously the new attacking players that we're going to bring in, James Maddison as well. So yeah, all good things regarding Mohammed Kudus. Let's just hope there's no setback or anything like that. The word on the street right now is that he will be fit for the first game of the season against Brentford, which is music to all our ears. Let's be honest, the guy is the best attacker that we got at the club currently. So Mohammed Kudus, we're waiting for you and we can't wait to see you back in action. Next up, we speak about Savinho. Once again, that never-ending saga of Savinho. Well, reports in Brazil from GE Globo are saying that negotiations between Tottenham and Man City over Savinho have stalled over a gap between the two clubs' valuations on the player. Tottenham remain interested and continue to monitor the situation, but talks have cooled despite a promising start. I don't really believe that, to be honest. I know it's gone a bit quiet over the last week or so, and I just don't believe that, there's a massive gap in terms of the valuation between two clubs. What I can believe, maybe there's a gap in terms of what Spurs or how they kind of structure the deal, in terms of how they split the upfront fee, the formalities, the add-ons, everything like that. That's what I think that maybe there's a gap between the two clubs in. However, we have heard over recent weeks that this deal will get done as soon as Man City confirm a winger signing. And what Himothy is saying that he can confirm that Man City are pushing very hard now for Yan Diomande to replace Savinho. So if they do go and get Yan Diomande, that is going to open up the deal for Savinho. And just them being in talks or pushing hard for a winger, that shows you that Savinho is most likely going to be leaving the club. So I do fully expect Savinho still to join Spurs. I just feel like it's just a waiting game, waiting for Man City to bring in another player, and also waiting for Spurs and Man City just to sort out those formalities, which I do think it is just a formality at this point. I know I've been saying it for weeks, and I mean probably months, that the here we go is coming for Savinho. It's going to happen today. It's going to happen today. Well, yeah, I don't have that funny feeling that it's going to happen today, but I do think it's going to happen at some point soon. And I think Man City, we know if Man City want to get a player, they go and get him. Look what they did with Elliot Anderson. And they'll probably do the same with Yan Diomande. We know that Yan Diomande is giving his priority to PSG at this moment in time. However, there has been some breakdown in talks between PSG and RB Leipzig, so maybe that gives a bit of an opportunity for Man City to kind of steal in there and put the money down on the table and bring Yan Diomande over to the Premier League, which will open up the door to Savinho to join Tottenham. So, look, like I said before, just a bit of a waiting game. Got to be a bit patient with this one. And, we can't wait on this for too long, because we do need to start focusing on other targets. And number 9, maybe one that can play both, play specifically on the left or the right as well, along with Savinho. Because we've seen the attacking, the bunch of attackers that have gone out on the tour. It looks like Championship or lower end of the Premier League relegation standard at this moment in time. So we need to get on with it, and we need to bring in these 3 forwards that we desperately need right now. So Savinho will be the first one, and then we can start working on other targets. But I think it's gone so quiet just because Spurs are very much focused on outgoings right now. We've seen, links to so many players to exit the club. So I think a few more exits, and then you'll see Spurs really knuckle down and get those attacking players. Let's talk about a few academy players now, because first, the one that we're going to speak about is Alfie Dorrington. Pete O'Rourke and Ben Jacobs now both saying that Polish club, I'm going to absolutely butcher this name, but Pogson Szczecin have agreed a fee with Tottenham for defender Alfie Dorrington, with the player set for talks over the switch. So it looks like Alfie Dorrington's going to finally leave the club. 21 years of age, at the right age for him to leave, to be honest. He got his debut, his one and only appearance for the first team under Ange in that 5-0 win over Southampton. And after that was loaned to Aberdeen, loaned to Salford. He did okay in parts at Aberdeen. At Salford, I'm not sure really how he did last year, but it looks as though he's leaving English football completely and going out to the Polish league, which is a very interesting move for him. So if that deal does get confirmed, obviously we'll wish him all the best. At one stage, just before he got that massive injury, there were very high hopes for him inside Hotspur Way. But unfortunately, he did get that injury, and I don't think he ever really got back to his best after that, unfortunately. So, yeah, it is what it is with Alfie Dorrington, but at 21 years of age, we can't be keeping him around the academy forever. So it looks as though he is going to get picked up by the Polish club. I'm just going to say Pogon, because I have no idea how to pronounce their full name. But this is really interesting, this next part, because Spurs consider Callum Olusesi as part of a small group of academy players that I believe that can challenge for the first team minutes this season or in the future. The 19-year-old is currently recovering from an injury, but has been told that he's part of Roberto De Zerbi's plans. And I think that's so interesting. I'll get into the other names in a second. But Callum Olusesi, he's already made, 3 appearances in our colours. One in the Premier League against Liverpool in that 1-1 draw under Igor Tudor. He played in the Champions League and he played in the Europa League in the build-up to the Europa League final. I think he got a minute against Hoffenheim, and he got, what was the other one? And he got like a couple of minutes against, who was it? Yeah, against Atletico Madrid in the second leg at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And every time I've seen him play, I've been very impressed with him, very impressed. You know, he's got a proper engine on him. He's got some grit to him. As a 19-year-old, he put himself about a lot, didn't look out of place when we saw him in the first team. So it's very interesting to hear that Roberto De Zerbi very much rates Callum Olusegun. If you cast your mind back, I think, to the back end of the season, or at some point last season, he was heavily linked to the likes of PSV and some other clubs in there. So he's obviously got a big reputation about him. He got drafted into the under-21 side last year in PL2 and captained the side many times last season as well. So shows his standing in kind of the academy setup right now. So he's going to be in and around the first team next season. Don't think there's going to be a loan or anything like that. He hasn't gone on the tour, obviously, because he has picked up an injury. But Roberto De Zerbi rates him, and Roberto De Zerbi is going to utilise him, hopefully, and potentially even next season. So watch this space. Another one who is part of that trusted group is Junai Beifeld, obviously the darling of the academy in the defence. Sam Tabital says that centre-back Junai Beifeld has also been told he is part of Roberto De Zerbi's plans. And also forward Luca Williams-Barnett also be believed part of this group. However, it's unclear whether Williams-Barnett will be part of the first team squad this season. The interesting thing about these two is that they're both 17 years of age, so very, very young, too young to be loaned out. So for them to be in and around the first team, even just if it's just on the training ground, week in, week out, is going to be massive for their development. I mean, Junai, when we saw him in those kind of few minutes here and there last season, I thought he was fantastic. I really did. For a 17-year-old, so mature, so built. I mean, he just looked like physically completely ready to play at that level. So it'll be interesting to see kind of what the role is for him next season. With Luca Williams-Barnett, he as well looks fairly physically ready for a 17-year-old. You know, you saw in that preseason yesterday the way he was able to muscle players off the ball, glide past players, that passing ability that he has on the technical level that Williams-Barnett shows is staggering. It really is. We've got a proper talents that we have in our hands with Luca Williams-Barnett and Junai Beifeld is actually mind-blowing. And I can't wait to see how Roberto De Zerbi manages them too and how he integrates them into the first team. So, yeah, like this season, they'll be in and around training, in and around the first team. We'll see how many minutes they get. Obviously, there are a lot of players ahead of Junai in terms of the centre-back. You're looking at right centre-back with Kevin Danso and Jan-Paul van Hecker. But you never know what can happen with Kevin Danso down the line, maybe the season after. Can Junai get trusted to be part of that group, to be in like squads and actually trusted with minutes on the pitch? I really hope he can be soon. And, you know, there's been a lot of discourse about Spurs and De Zerbi. Is he going to trust in the youth? Does he have it in him to trust the youth, or is it just about bringing in ready-made, experienced players? And, you know, looking back at his time at Marseille, time at Brighton, time at Sassuolo, he has always drafted in and looked at academies to make an impact in the first team. Everywhere he's gone, he has got a big reputation for it, and it's there. Proof is in the pudding and everywhere. So I think he is just looking for the right academy players to make an impact. And obviously the ones that we've sold, maybe he looks at as not being good enough to make a real impact or who he believes in. But you look at Callum Olusegun, Junai Beifeld and Luca Williams-Barnett, all of having minutes in the first team so far. And I think all of them have impressed in the first team so far. So he's got to be very careful with who he picks at the end of the day. You can't just give any 17, 18, 19-year-old minutes in the first team. They've got to have something about them. And not just something about them, but they've got to have something extra about them when you're trusting them in really important games. And I think these three actually do have that about them. So very, very... well, I just can't wait to see. I just cannot wait to see what these three do next season and in the coming years for Tottenham Hotspur. The last topic that we're going to speak to kind of caught me off guard a little bit. going to speak about the goalkeeping situation, because SZY is saying, don't rule out Tottenham signing a goalkeeper. It is still being considered by Tottenham Hotspur. Kinski is expected to start the season. However, he will be assessed from the start of the season until the end of the transfer window. So SZY is saying, do not rule out another goalkeeping target to come in before the end of the transfer window. Obviously, it's not a priority right now. The priority is obviously in the forward line. But he's saying that Antonin Kinski still needs to be assessed. I find that kind of hard to believe at this stage after the contract that we've given him. Everyone's been saying, you know, Kinski's our number one now. Obviously, Vicario is about to exit. We've brought in Dubravka. He has said Dubravka could be our third choice keeper next season. If he is our third choice, then obviously that does leave a space for another keeper to come in, unless Brandon Austin's going to be our second choice, which I find hard to believe. So, yeah, a bit of a strange one. Saying Kinski, I mean, Spurs could be considering another goalkeeper. And you're thinking, who could that be? James Trafford on his way to Leeds now. What other goalkeeper could Spurs be considering now? And why has that come out now after the whole narrative over the last month has been like Kinski's going to be our number one? Well, look, he is about to start the season, and I think he's going to keep that spot. I really do. I think the guy is bringing confidence right now. The way he came back from that Atletico Madrid game and responded for those last 7 games of the season, he's got the quality, he's got the confidence, and he's got the shirt right now, and I think he's going to keep it. So I don't really read too much into Spurs looking for a goalkeeper or potentially looking for a goalkeeper, because I think Kinski is going to keep that spot. So let us know your thoughts on the goalkeeper situation. Do you think Spurs will actually go in for a goalkeeper from now until the end of the transfer window? Because I, for one, don't. And also let me know, do you think this Savinho stuff, do you think it will get done as confidently as I do? And let us know your thoughts on the captain situation as well. Was it right to give James Maddison the captaincy? But that is your Tottenham update for today. Let me know in the comment section below your thoughts regarding all the news stories that we've brought to you today. Like, subscribe and comment. And as always, come on you Spurs.